The discovery of a lost cargo ship's contents was headline-worthy news, but the true nature of its cargo remained a mystery. That is until two unauthorized divers, Finn and Bill, decided to investigate, hoping that the secret shipment would make them rich. Instead, their discovery forced them into a moral dilemma, leaving them no choice but to alert the police. Their journey began with securing their oxygen tanks and diving deep into the ocean, where they finally located the fallen containers. Overwhelmed with excitement, they carefully cut through the final lock of a particularly mysterious container. As they opened it, their breath caught. What they found inside was shocking, not just for its value, but for the implications it carried. They couldn't understand why no one had retrieved it sooner, and as the weight of their discovery sank in, they realized they were in danger. The events leading to the cargo's disappearance were just as dramatic. A sudden, violent storm had caught the ship's crew off guard. Towering waves slammed against the vessel, throwing it off balance. The men on board could only watch as most of the containers either toppled onto each other or plunged into the ocean, with no way to recover them. The crew focused on surviving the storm and reaching the nearest harbor safely. However, after the cargo had sunk, the ship's crew began receiving unsettling messages and threats. Whispers spread among them that one of the lost containers belonged to a highly influential figure who was desperate to retrieve it. Rumors grew, speculating on what could be inside that was so important. Eventually, these whispers reached the ears of Bill and Finn, two seasoned divers who often explored underwater caves and small shipwrecks for fun. Although they had never attempted anything so ambitious before, their curiosity got the better of them, and they set out to retrieve the cargo, unaware of the dangerous path they were about to walk. Bill and Finn quickly realized this would be the most complex dive of their lives. To increase their chances of success, they spent months preparing, acquiring top-tier diving equipment, and hiring 4 additional experts to assist them. They also rented 2 boats to help transport any recovered items. On the day of the dive, the team carefully scanned the ocean floor, eventually locating the lost cargo. But just as they were about to dive, Jack, one of their team members, spotted something unusual on the monitor: a large, unidentified sea creature lurking near their boats. The team hesitated, fearing a potential shark attack, but as they observed the creature, they realized it was too large to be a shark. Unsure of what it was, they decided to wait. After a few tense minutes, the mysterious animal disappeared, allowing Bill and Finn to proceed with their dive. However, the moment they entered the water, they realized conditions were far worse than anticipated. The freezing temperatures, strong currents, and limited visibility made their descent incredibly difficult. Determined to complete their mission, the divers pushed forward. Using a rope system to guide themselves, they made their way to the containers, each carrying cameras to record their findings. When they reached the first cluster of containers, they found them tightly locked, as expected. Using specialized tools, they began breaking open the locks one by one. Yet something seemed off. There were fewer containers than they had anticipated. Had some been carried away by the ocean currents, or had they already been recovered? With limited oxygen, they couldn't afford to search for more that day. Just as they were about to resurface, something caught Bill's eye: a container with far more security than the others. Heavy chains wrapped around its handles, and the lock appeared sturdier than the rest. This container was different. Bill and Finn carefully cut through the chains, knowing they had little time left before needing to ascend. Once the final lock was removed, they realized they wouldn't have enough oxygen to investigate further. Reluctantly, they resurfaced, but they knew they had to return. Back on the boat, they devised a plan. They would bring inflatable equipment to help transport any objects they retrieved. With everything set, they dove back down and approached the container once again. Shining their flashlights inside, they were stunned to find an enormous machine, a complex filtration system. As they examined the device, Finn's light revealed an attached compartment filled with laminated photographs, documents, and pictures of unknown individuals. Next to the machine was a small control panel equipped with input ports and blinking lights. Finn cautiously retrieved what looked like a waterproof modem designed for encrypted data transfers. Before they could investigate further, a muffled sound from above made them freeze. Bill quickly scanned the area with his torchlight and saw a cloud of bubbles descending. They were not alone. Shadowy figures wearing unknown insignias were moving toward the container with unsettling precision. These weren't casual divers, they were professionals. Panic surged through Finn and Bill as they realized they needed to escape immediately. Understanding the imminent danger, Bill signaled Finn to ascend. Deploying emergency balloons, they rapidly rose to the surface. As soon as they reached their boat, they scrambled aboard, panting heavily. But before they could even process what had just happened, a sleek black vessel appeared in the distance, speeding toward them. Their pursuers had arrived. Without hesitation, Bill started the boat's engines. Using their knowledge of the area, they navigated through a maze of narrow channels between the islands, knowing the larger vessel wouldn't be able to follow. As they maneuvered through treacherous waters, the black ship hesitated before turning around. They had lost them for now. Seeking refuge, Bill and Finn found a hidden cove where they could regroup. Under the dim light of their boat's lantern, they laid out the photographs and encrypted devices they had retrieved. Realizing the magnitude of their discovery, they knew they couldn't handle this alone. By dawn, they made the call to the authorities. The local Coast Guard quickly escalated the matter, connecting Bill and Finn to higher security agencies. Understanding the sensitivity of the situation, a joint task force was formed, bringing together expert divers, cyber specialists, and intelligence operatives. Bill and Finn were essential to the mission, as they were the only ones who had seen the container up close. Equipped with cutting-edge technology, the team prepared for a second dive. This time, it was no longer just an exploration. It was a full-scale operation. With drones, advanced lighting, and encrypted communication systems, they returned to the container's location. As the task force converged around the site, a new wave of revelations emerged. The encrypted devices contained information that pointed to an international criminal syndicate, an organization operating on a global scale. The evidence linked them to smuggling operations, cyber warfare, and high-profile corruption. The discovery sent shockwaves worldwide. Intelligence agencies like the CIA, MI6, and Interpol joined forces to dismantle the network. Raids were conducted across multiple countries, from hidden warehouses in Bangkok to luxury penthouses in New York. Key players were arrested, and interrogation rooms filled with suspects as authorities worked to dismantle the syndicate's operations. However, despite their efforts, the true mastermind remained in the shadows, continuing to pull the strings from an unknown location. With fresh intelligence, the task force prepared for yet another dive, convinced that the container held more secrets, perhaps even the key to bringing down the entire organization. But as they prepared to descend, a new threat emerged. Unidentified divers, highly trained and armed, were heading toward the site, intent on stopping them at all costs. What had started as a simple dive had become a high-stakes battle, with the truth hanging in the balance.